2022 is the 50th anniversary of the enactment of Connecticut's Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Act, fondly known as the IWWA. All year long, our partners have held special events to celebrate this important milestone. Our partners include the Connecticut Association of Wetland Scientists, our 4 sister Connecticut conservation districts, the Water Planning Council and their subgroups, Rivers Alliance of Connecticut, Connecticut Deep and other state agencies, and many others. At the federal level, the amended Modern-Day Clean Water Act was passed the same year as the IWWA. Some people cite Connecticut's IWWA as a positive influence in the federal adoption of wetland protections. Also, by choosing to define wetlands by soils alone, Connecticut allowed for a uniform and clear protocol to designate and protect these valuable ecosystems. Vegetation, for example, used in the federal wetland delineation system can be quite adaptable, and plants designated as wetland plants may in fact be found growing well outside of wetland soils boundaries. Also, relying on the clear presence of hydrology is problematic during both periods of drought and inundation. The passing of the IWWA led to the formation of the first inland wetland and watercourses agencies in the state. This began Connecticut's unique approach of creating local commissions in order to provide a local angle on wetlands and watercourse issues. This act is the foundation of wetland and watercourse protection in Connecticut. This important legislation allowed Connecticut to protect inland wetlands and watercourses, which provide important functions and values, also known as ecosystem services, that we often take for granted. For example, wetlands clean our water through infiltration into the ground, where roots, soil particles, and soil microorganisms remove pollutants and nutrients from the water. Most of Connecticut's drinking water comes from surface water, which is improved by filtration through wetlands. Inland wetlands are also key factors in flood control and often retain some of the sediment that is carried in stormwater runoff, helping to protect the larger downstream watercourses and coastline of Connecticut. Wetlands provide habitat for plants and animals, some of which rely exclusively on these ecosystems. Many organisms need these systems for sources of water, food, and life cycle fulfillment. Where wetlands lie along streams, rivers, or lakes, they protect the shorelines of these watercourses, reducing erosion and destabilization. Many wetlands and watercourses are destinations for healthy recreational activities and bring people into nature to observe, hike, fish, etc. These activities are beneficial to people's health and well-being. Wetlands play a critical role in watercourse protection. Many lakes, rivers, and streams have wetlands along their shorelines, which act as buffers from direct human impact. Wetlands higher up in the watershed play a vital role in cleaning surface runoff and creating stable headwaters that feed watercourses. Making sure we properly care for all wetlands, including small, seemingly innocuous ones, is key to sustaining healthy watersheds and protecting our aquatic resources. Many call the IWWA just the Wetlands Act, but creating an act that includes both wetlands and watercourses is another sign of Connecticut's unique approach and foresight. The IWWA defines watercourses to encompass many different systems, ensuring that we protect aquatic resources of all sizes and types. For instance, it includes rivers, streams, waterways, lakes, ponds, marshes, swamps, bogs, vernal and intermittent bodies of water. Moving forward, there are many threats and stresses to wetlands and watercourses, from improper anthropogenic land use to climate change, altering their natural biorhythms and ecosystems. Protecting these resources are instrumental in how Connecticut adapts and remains resilient. Our wetlands and watercourses are the first lines of defense against large storms and flooding, are essential in our continued access to clean drinking water. They provide habitat for a plethora of wildlife and recreational opportunities for the public, and much more. The Inland Wetlands and Watercourses Act of Connecticut uniquely lays groundwork for their protection into the future.